still campfire together. What was it? Hi everybody, welcome back to Maxim Outdoors. We're out on this permission again and it's a lovely day, super muggy though, so I'm dressed quite down. I didn't even want to risk putting my camouflage veil on because it's just so hot. Following the previous video about the wild rabbit and foraged greens, I thought I'd follow up with something quite similar as it proved to be quite productive and popular film. So today we're back out with the sub 12 pounds pneumatic air rifle. As if you didn't see the previous video, this is a BSA Scorpion T10. So it's a 10 shot 22, this is .22 caliber air rifle. That might sound obvious to some people who shoot air rifles, but in the UK we've got a limit on the power that your air rifle can produce without owning an FAC air rifle. So we're back out on the permission, which is a really nice place to be. So if I flip my camera around, and actually there's a squirrel right by there on the fence. But it was. Now he's gone. Was I dreaming or? Anyway, we're going to be walking around the farm now, keeping our eye out for grey squirrels, which are going to be primarily our quarry today. So we just had our first kill and took him with a clean headshot. So viewer discretion, but you can clearly see that that is a humane kill right there. Straight behind the eye, right in the vitals, and straight out the other side, so he's absolutely dispatched super humanely. So that's one less squirrel for the farmer to worry about, and one more squirrel in the pot as a result. Beautiful little animal. It's unfortunate that he has to meet this fate, but someone's going to do it. Oh, right, so we had problems. We managed to bag ourselves one, but we should have had a lot more than that then. I realised after missing 4 or 5 obviously clean shots, no obstructions, I was even resting, I started debating what was going on. Anyway, it occurred to me that when I previously made sure that my scope was zeroed in my garden at home before I came out, I then refilled my air rifle to 185 psi. Now, because this is a non-regulated air rifle, there's a power curve. So at 185 psi, I know this, and I just completely forgot, the shots actually go high for the first 10 to 15 shots, and they're from like 170 to 140, 130. You just get perfectly zero shots. So I'd probably put 10 pellets through the gun, gone back to my 0 point on the farm, and my gun shooting pellet on pellet. I only noticed this when I was further up the field, and I missed my last shot and I got, swear words, off. Anyway, so I checked my shot, and the shot went high at 30 yards, so my own fault really. I normally zero this gun at like 25, so I've gone back to 25 yards, and my gun's smack on now. Hunting's just a game of millimetres, and that's the way it goes, unfortunately. I haven't been out with a gun for ages, so I've been doing a lot of slingshot shooting, catapults, but yeah, never mind, eh? I think we're going to have another look around the farm and try and bag ourselves at least one more. There was a rabbit further down in this field. I didn't get close to him because there was a squirrel at about 15 yards, and by the time I took a shot at him, the rabbit had scarpered. So let's just get to it and see what happens. There's so many wild edibles at this time of the year. What I'm eating there. So many wild edibles at this time of year. The squirrels are super busy at the moment, just collecting hazelnuts and acorns and different sorts of berries and seeds, and burying the nuts in the ground to store them over winter. But even on this tree, well, I'm eating blackberries, as most of you already know. But there's also these, which are hawthorn berries. There used to be a lot of these during the war. You just squeeze it inside as a hard pit, but the fruit of the plant itself is edible. There's not much taste to it, but it's quite high in pectin, which is the active ingredient that causes fruit to jam. So you can actually make hawthornberry jam, and also like fruit leathers as well, by gathering quite a lot of these, mushing it all up and then straining it through sort of like a muslin to get all the fruits out of it. That was a bird rather than a squirrel, yeah. So yeah, just a massive flora of wildlife at the moment. There's also, this is a elder here, and you'll see that, I'll try and show you further down where this is actually producing berries. And you can also use the elderberries for quite a lot of things. Another one here, another wild edible. This is a rose hip for wild rose. So these are edible too. This one's quite tough. Inside a rose hip, you've got the fruit. You've also got this inner pith. You see the seeds inside. I'll try and zoom in on this. Come on. So the outside of the fruit is edible and actually really nice, but the inside of the fruit contains these fibrous seeds, and they are actually an irritant. So bloody hell, that was a nightmare. Ow, ow. Oh, I sat up in a tree, I sat below a tree, and I could just hear just things dropping constantly off the tree. And I sat there for about 25 minutes just debating what the hell was going on. I knew there was something up there, but I didn't know whether it was nuthatches or other types of little birds just taking the seeds off the tree or trying to open up some of the berries. But out of nowhere, old Cyril popped their head out, and number two, absolutely smashing behind the eye shot from about 25 yards, and brilliant. Second squirrel down from farmer, and the second squirrel for the pot for me. There was another one there, but he was just out of sight, so didn't get a shot off on him. God, this sun's relentless. It was good in the woods then because the sun wasn't down in my eyes and the squirrels were way too preoccupied up in the top of the tree, sun blinding them, which gave me a bit of an opportunity to get in. Just this little bit of camouflage helped massively. But I think I'm just going to try and work a way back up this hedgerow now, the fence line, and get back over there and see if anything in the shade is going to fall victim to me. So let's go do that. Right guys, I think that draws the hunt to an end. I missed so many opportunities earlier on in the shoot, but it's a game of hunting, it's a game of millimetres. So we're going to take these squirrels back home now and prep them, and we'll see when you're out. Right guys, we're in my back garden now. Behind me is a shelf that I built a long time ago during lockdown, and one that I spend many a night in having fires. Anyway, we've got our squirrels here, and the first thing we need to do is stretch them out. The way we're going to skin these today is, I just know it as the tail method, and it involves having one very sharp knife, right? And this knife I recently just made out of an old file. So this has got a bit of a stain in there from the last time we went camping, but it's 5mm, and there's yew scales from a Welsh yew tree, and then brass pins and leather liners. So really good steel from an old file. I'm going to go back. The first thing you want to do is you want to make an incision just underneath the anus of the squirrel, and cut down deep enough just to go through the tailbone itself, but as soon as you go through the tailbone, stop. So we're going to do that first. Trying to find the best way to do it really. So, as you can see there, we've just gone through the tailbone itself. You want to just take this incision then, just a little bit further up the back, up the top of the back of the legs, and that'll enable you to have a nice flap on the back. Which will start off how we're going to skin it. So the next thing to do now is actually, I don't think I'm quite through the tailbone yet actually. No, I am. So the next thing you want to do now is actually turn the squirrel onto his back onto a hard surface. So. Stand on the bone of that tail and start pulling. Now that can happen. There's one. Try the tail method again, do stretch it out. This is a female. And a more mature animal. So we're going to go down again, try and get to that tailbone. As soon as you're through the tailbone, stop. Try and find a... Here we go. Right. So we're through the bone. Like I said, just try and create a flap then on the back of its legs. Find a hard point, stand on the bone. I think this one is going to do it again. This is what you want to happen. That, okay? Don't go too far, you'll have nothing. And get your index fingers up into the in out. Saying don't go too far because you'll have nothing to grab to start pulling off the legs. So there we are. That's how it's meant to be done. But the truth is, guys, sometimes it does go the other way. And sometimes you end up pulling the tail off. I think that was because it was a less mature animal as well. So there we have it. The tail method. Again, just batting off his limbs. Some people do like to try and find the joint, but I can't be bothered with that. Just be careful. Make a small incision up in its belly, abdomen. Try not to nick anything inside. Open up to the chest, you've got the inners inside. If you want to keep the heart and liver etc, you can, but it's not for me. That'll be going to the dog, and I'm sure she'll be grateful. Get your 2 fingers inside and just drag all the innards out. Right then guys, we are back in the kitchen and these have now been washed. The best way to get any leftover hairs, because inevitably you are playing around with wild game, there is going to be 1 or 2 wild leftover stranded hairs, but that's fine. Just get a towel, dry towel, and just rub it off. In the meantime, pet dry. It's a wonderful bit of free meat. So as you can see on these animals, they're super lean. There's literally almost, well, if any, there's basically zero fat on a squirrel. These things eat protein and do pull-ups. So there we are. Alright, my boy.
What's that?
That's squirrel. You gonna try some when I cook it up? What do you mean? Ew.
It's not on the face.
No, I know. It'll be alright now. So,
Why is it not
take your knife.
Why is it not on the face?
Because it's dead now, Carol. Okay?
What's it there now?
Anyway, make sure you've got a sharp knife. And
Oh dear, it's gone.
I just like to section these up, quarter them, or whatever you want to do really. Just
Daddy,
snug these, work your way round the meat as nice as you can. There's more than one way to cook a squirrel, but what I'm going to do is actually just quarter them up and marinate them. As you can see there, guys, my boy is not hid. Oh, camera! My boy's not hidden to any of these things, and he's learning the ways himself. So just quarter your squirrels up if you want to do it this way. If you want to try it, I always just try and follow the natural shape of the muscles down, and then find that hip bone, the ball and socket joint, and pop it out. There was a little cringe then from behind me from my wife. That's fine. So there's the first one, nice back ham. What do you mean there?
Because you have got a dirty ball.
I haven't got a dirty bowl, you cheeky get.
Yes.
Well, Mummy didn't wash it up then, did she?
You didn't wash it up.
You tell her that.
But you can wash it up.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. Cheers for that. What we have now is the 4 back legs, 4 front legs, and the 2 back straps. That's just how I like to do them. You can mess about as much as you want, but it is a lot of the case it's micro butchery, isn't it? So what we're going to do now is just swill out this bowl. Get our squirrel in there. This can go off now for washing. And a quick wash. So there's your squirrel. Marinate it basically however you want. Cover it, keep it in the fridge. 12 hours is best, but you know, anything's going to be better than nothing. So first thing now, put the heat on. What we're going to do is we're going to get some butter out of the fridge. I've already got it out. So we're going to chop a bit off. We're going to make a kind of buttermilk. Literally, just going to melt a bit of butter in the pan. Okay. So the butter's melted. Quickly bang the milk in there. Get all that mixed in. Turn the heat down. I'm going to get that. Just swirl that butter to the side of the pan, and then add it back into the bowl. Right, Calon's singing in the background. Take the squirrel out the fridge. Simple procedure now. Into the buttermilk, into the flour. I'm going to add a load of oil to the pan. I'm going to shallow fry this, and I'll bring you back. We're going to do the first one. Into the buttermilk, into the flour. Okay, good coating, straight in the pan. Into the buttermilk, into the flour. Again, straight in the pan. Let's bring you back in when they're halfway done. So here they are in the pan. Right, we're gonna give these like about 8 minutes aside. Super high heat. What the is going on with these? Right. They've been in there like 8 minutes last night. You can see a good coating on there. But what we've forgotten, guys, is one of the most important parts of an emergency, Calon. Well done with your superpowers, mate. I'll turn this hit down a bit. We've actually forgot one of the most important parts of this whole squirrel scenario. Don't rock the chair can because you're going to fall off. The thirsty ferret. A favourite of mine. One of the Badger breweries, my favourite brewery. Quickly, Callum, an emergency. Nice. Well done, Callum. High five. So, Callum's having cheese and beans on toast. These are cooking away nicely. They did get a bit big, but it is what it is. I gotta sort that fire. So the next instruction, get your favourite glass. This one is from Thomas and Lilford. Look at the cormorant on there, guys. That is one of my favourite glass. And insert your beer into the glass in any fashion. Say cheers to everyone at home. Yaki da.
It's a nice guy.
Let's get this chicken cooked, guys. Oh, squirrel, not chicken. Some heads on there, guys. Flip the neck. There we are. Everything's a bit of a rush at the moment, but you can see they are looking delish. Callum in the back asking that he wants to see me, even though he can see. Right, turn the heat off. Get the heat off the pan, guys. Oh, we're losing it. Right, guys, turn the heat off. I was trying to feed Callum and do everything in the kitchen at the same time, so he's a bit overdone, but that doesn't matter because I'd rather my food cooked than raw. We're going to eat these with sauce anyway, they're going to be absolutely delicious. Even when I do my chicken wings, obviously with the honey, they get instantly black. This oil, don't waste the oil or the fat whenever you cook stuff, guys, because super important. Grab some oats out of the fridge. Out the fridge, not the fridge. Anything will do. Usually, or oats. Grab some oats. I'm going to have to find the oats wherever they are. Anyway, grab some oats, mix that, soak all the oils and the fats up in the oats, and you can make fat balls and put out for the birds. They absolutely love them. And also, on the flip side, so do squirrels. So you are basically baking up your own food. Boom. Right, guys, I like mine on the bone, so I don't mind just literally carnivore in it, but I've pulled a load off the bone because Nikki, my wife, and my boy doesn't really like stuff on the bone. Get your fork, get a piece of squirrel then. Are you excited? Dip it in the red sauce.
Use your fingers if you want. So.
Dip some in the sauce.
Sauce.
Now eat it.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Mmm.
You can have some.
What does it taste like? Callum? Callum, what does it taste like?
Beef.
Beef?
Yeah.
Is it very nice?
Yeah.
Good boy. So there we are, guys. Wrap on the video. Cheers, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos if you like what you saw today. But sorry it was a bit burnt, but that was basically what it's like being a father. Yeah, well done. Back to the ball. Oh, camera's gone again. Corner to wrap. See you on the next one. Quit this stupid YouTube channel. They don't understand. Viewers, you see the bloody washing up that goes into it, and they dickheads. Sat there, eat the food, watch the beer.